Hey there, science fans! Today, we're diving deep into the amazing world of cells. Cells are the basic units of life. Think of them like tiny factories that make up every living thing. From the smallest bacteria to the largest whale, it all starts with cells. Cells come in different shapes and sizes. They have specialized jobs, but they all share some common features. Cells have a membrane that acts like a boundary. It controls what goes in and out. Inside the cell is a jelly-like substance called cytoplasm. This is where the magic happens. Cells are constantly working to keep us alive and kicking. They take in nutrients, they get rid of waste, they even make copies of themselves. Pretty impressive for something so small, right? Now, let's meet the incredible team inside each cell, the organelles. These specialized structures are like mini organs. They perform specific tasks to keep the cell running smoothly. First up, we have the nucleus. This is the cell's control center. It contains DNA, the genetic blueprint that tells the cell what to do. Think of it like the cell's brain. Next, we have the mighty mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. They break down nutrients to release energy. This energy powers all the cell's activities. Lysosomes are like the cell's recycling centers. They break down waste products and old cell parts. This keeps the cell clean and tidy. Then there's the endoplasmic reticulum, or ER for short. It's a network of folded membranes that act as a transportation system. The ER helps move molecules around the cell. And we can't forget about the Golgi apparatus, the cell's packaging and shipping center. It modifies, sorts, and packages proteins and lipids. Then it sends them to their final destinations. Ribosomes are the protein builders of the cell. They read instructions from DNA and assemble proteins accordingly. Proteins are the workhorses of the cell, carrying out a wide range of functions. Plant cells have a few extra tricks up their sleeves. They have chloroplasts, which capture sunlight and convert it into energy through photosynthesis. This process provides food for the plant. Plant cells also have a rigid cell wall that provides support and protection. Cells are constantly exchanging materials with their surroundings. This movement of molecules across the cell membrane is called cellular transport. It's essential for cell survival. There are two main types of cellular transport: passive transport and active transport. Passive transport doesn't require energy. It's like coasting downhill on a bike. Active transport, on the other hand, requires energy. It's like pedaling uphill. Passive transport relies on the random movement of molecules. Molecules move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. It's like when you open a bottle of perfume. The scent molecules spread out from the bottle, moving from a high concentration to a low concentration. Active transport moves molecules against their concentration gradient. This requires energy, usually in the form of ATP, the cell's energy currency. Think of it like using a pump to move water uphill. There are two main types of passive transport: diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion is the movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. It's how oxygen gets into our cells and carbon dioxide gets out. Osmosis is the diffusion of water across a semi-permeable membrane. Water moves from an area of high water concentration to an area of low water concentration. This process is crucial for maintaining water balance in cells. The particle model of matter helps explain diffusion and osmosis. This model states that all matter is made up of tiny particles that are in constant motion. The movement of these particles drives diffusion and osmosis. The fluid mosaic model describes the structure of the cell membrane. It's made up of a double layer of phospholipids with embedded proteins. This flexible and fluid structure allows for the movement of molecules across the membrane. Section 5. Active transport. Swimming. Upstream. Active transport requires energy to move molecules against their concentration gradient. This is essential for processes like transporting nutrients into the cell and removing waste products. One example of active transport is the sodium-potassium pump. This protein pump uses energy to move sodium ions out of the cell and potassium ions into the cell. This process is crucial for nerve impulse transmission. Another important process is bulk transport, which moves large molecules or even whole cells across the membrane. Endocytosis is a type of bulk transport that brings materials into the cell. Exocytosis is a type of bulk transport that releases materials from the cell. Section 6. Plant versus animal cells. Spotting the differences. Plant and animal cells share many similarities, but they also have some key differences. Plant cells have a rigid cell wall made of cellulose. This provides support and protection. Animal cells lack a cell wall. Plant cells also have chloroplasts, which allow them to perform photosynthesis. Animal cells do not have chloroplasts. Another difference is the size of the vacuole. Plant cells typically have a large central vacuole that stores water, nutrients, and waste products. Animal cells may have smaller vacuoles, but they are not as prominent as in plant cells. Despite their differences, plant and animal cells are interconnected. They rely on each other for survival. For example, plants produce oxygen through photosynthesis, which animals need to breathe. Animals, in turn, produce carbon dioxide, which plants need for photosynthesis. Section 7. The cell membrane. A gatekeeper and more. The cell membrane is a remarkable structure. It acts as a gatekeeper, controlling what enters and exits the cell. This cell activity is crucial for maintaining the cell's internal environment. The membrane is made up of a double layer of phospholipids. These molecules have a hydrophilic or water-loving head and a hydrophobic or water-fearing tail. This arrangement creates a barrier that prevents the free passage of most molecules. Embedded within the phospholipid bilayer are various proteins. These proteins play important roles in transport, signaling, and cell recognition. Some proteins act as channels or carriers, facilitating the movement of specific molecules across the membrane. The cell membrane is also involved in cell signaling. Cells communicate with each other through chemical messengers that bind to receptors on the membrane. This triggers a series of events inside the cell, leading to a specific response. Section 8. Real-world applications. From labs to your life. The principles of cellular transport have numerous applications in science, medicine, and everyday life. For example, understanding diffusion is essential in designing drug delivery systems. Osmosis is used in water purification and food preservation. Reverse osmosis, a process that forces water molecules across a semi-permeable membrane, is used to remove impurities from water. Knowledge of semi-permeable membranes is applied in dialysis. Dialysis machines filter waste products from the blood of patients with kidney failure, mimicking the function of healthy kidneys. In agriculture, understanding plant cell structure and function is crucial for optimizing crop growth and yield. Farmers use fertilizers to provide plants with essential nutrients, and they control water availability to ensure optimal growth. Section 9. Size matters. Why cells stay small. Cells are incredibly small, and there's a good reason for that. As a cell grows larger, its volume increases faster than its surface area. This creates a problem for the cell because it needs a large surface area to volume ratio to efficiently exchange materials with its surroundings. Imagine a small cell shaped like a cube. It has a large surface area relative to its volume, allowing for rapid diffusion of nutrients and waste products. Now, imagine this cube growing larger. Its volume increases much faster than its surface area, making it more difficult for the cell to obtain nutrients and get rid of waste. To maintain a high surface area to volume ratio, cells stay small. They also have specialized structures such as folds in the membrane or long, thin extensions to increase their surface area. Section 10. The big picture. Cells in action. Cells are the fundamental units of life, carrying out all the processes necessary for survival. From energy production to waste removal, these tiny factories are constantly working to keep us alive and thriving. Understanding cell structure and function is crucial for advancements in medicine, agriculture, and biotechnology. By studying cells, we can develop new treatments for diseases, improve crop yields, and even create new materials. So next time you take a breath, eat a meal, or simply move a muscle, remember the trillions of cells working tirelessly behind the scenes. These microscopic wonders are the true heroes of life.